Hi guys, I'm filming a mukbang today because, well, it's one of those days. Alright, well, and I'm watching Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok Cult episode 1, and the last 15 minutes of it at least.
Happy Mother's Day, no Happy Father's Day, Melanie's birthday came and went, nothing to wish her happy birthday, nothing at all for Thanksgiving.
That's spicy. Ooh.
I waited a couple months
kimchi,
to see if she would come back
some
around,
soup,
and she never did.
Fruit.
So I decided to go to their public show. I think I had this vision in my brain that we would embrace since she'd missed me so much and we would skip off into the sunset. So I went to the bathroom and literally she was back there. We were both like in shock. We hadn't seen each other in so long. That was the first time I'd seen her with her hair cut short. So I remember I hugged her and it was like hugging a wall. Like she was just stiff. And I was just like, you're doing so great. You know, we just wanted to come see the show.
Hopefully it doesn't get blocked because of what I'm watching.
Cold.
Oh,
No
shit.
emotion. She's changed completely.
Whew.
We were speaking to a couple therapists that said that they'll probably meet with you if you have something big to share.
But we were blocked. Her phone number had been changed. So I texted James.
We're asking what's in the soup. Some pieces of bread.
Miranda came.
It's chicken broth
like that,
and mushrooms.
looking nasty.
I know, right?
And I sat down with her and
Looking
I said, "Is
nasty."
everything okay?" And she said, "Well, what do you have to say? What's the news?" So I tried to say, like, you know, Miranda, I'm so sorry. Maybe there's just a lot of things that you've been holding inside that you've never really been able to process or deal with. And I'm sorry if you didn't feel like you could come to me with all this other stuff. And she's like, "Is that it? I've got to go." And she walked out on me. When you raise somebody and you know her, and all of a sudden to see a shell of your daughter, there was just like her eyes were glazed over. There was no expressions on her face. She talked, but I almost felt like she didn't love us or something anymore. It was literal months trying to make it seem like we're okay, trying to post old videos, and then people are commenting like, "Hey, that's from December."
Well,
And me just trying my hardest when I meet up with people to do dance videos and collaborate, and they ask about her and I just say, "Oh, you know, she just couldn't make it today, or she's sick."
So many of you have noticed that Miranda and I have not been in videos together lately, and I've been getting a lot of messages asking where she's at, what's going on, all of that. So I'm here to let you know that Miranda has chosen to just take a little break from the Working Sisters brand.
where it turns into like a big blob of.
Videos. My goal is to always put a smile on your face. And you know, sometimes you just need a little change.
People knew that something was wrong. It was awful. I'm not a liar. I never thought in years she would actually be gone. I loved what we had, and so I felt so betrayed. I felt like half my heart was just blood.
Wow.
Like she,
Not as spicy as that.
like she was half of me that was just gone. There was always something in the works of like, what else can we do? And I just feel like we exhausted every option. I remember it was actually Miranda's birthday. James posted for her birthday, and I just remember commenting and saying, "Happy birthday. I hope you get all the love you deserve today." can't text you, I can't call you, I can't. So I'm just commenting on, you know, a post. And within a minute, the comment was deleted. I was blocked. My parents were blocked.
I mean, she acts like she can't make another account and just.
This is now the second birthday that we haven't heard anything
You know.
from her. We can't even get a message across to her. And I just remember my parents, they were like, I think we need to say something. We are alive. We have not wanted to spread the drama. We've not wanted to talk about this because we don't know
That is.
if she's going to get punished because of what we're doing. Right. Which, when we read up on cults and stuff, is the case. The person gets punished for what other people do.
This is pretty
so
good.
It's like, we don't know what to do anymore.
The kimchi one is
Love this girl.
not as good as the 2-time spicy or even like the regular spicy one.
And she is our pride and joy. But we have two.
This one doesn't have that chicken flavor.
And we will not stop fighting for our other one too. No way. They messed with the wrong family. We're not going away.
When the bookings went live, we obviously were all aware because we saw it on social media.
They're not gonna tell us anything, but you can tell by the energy. It's like people have thoughts about this, but like you're not saying anything.
How it was brought up was like, oh, Miranda's family is making a fuss because they still want to control her. I know from being here with her, like, she'll cry sometimes because of how much she misses her family, and when she sees they're in town on social media, she would even say to me sometimes, like, I do want to see them, but Robert was not saying it's a good idea. Miranda was upset. She was sad. She did miss them. She does love them, but she's being brainwashed.
This is really good. Not as good as the black one or the red one. The red one will burn a hole through your stomach, but it's good though. It's tasty. This doesn't have that chicken flavor to it, which I'm missing.
You know, if you're black, then you use a black card, race card. People in the world, they use a race card every chance they get. If you don't fight dirty, you're not gonna win. We did a sneaker. Jalen Whitler's business submission, which the enemy never did.
It is so good.
To Michigan to meet the Wilkins. So let's go.
Miranda said she wanted to see us.
Oh, Miranda, go on Instagram Live.
Right away, we go to this hotel, and as soon as we turn the corner, that's when we was with the camera up in the air.
We are live. We're in Detroit, Michigan. This is my husband, James. This is my mom, Kelly, and my dad, Dean. Since they wanted to make our lives public, we're gonna go live. Do you guys have anything to say to the live stream? Love you, Miranda. I miss you. Love you. We're excited to see you in person. Okay. More details to come. We sat down.
Wow, that's so controlling.
She said, is it okay if I videotape our conversation? And I was like, no. They had asked us to take down anything off of social media that had to do with her because they wanted to start fresh. They wanted to
We kept saying
have a
this
new
picture.
start. They wanted to know.
No, that's so controlling.
We want nothing more than that. But then they were like, let's just start right now. And they said, okay, well then take it down now. And then I left. I said, I'm like, no, I'm not taking anything.
No, that's what control.
This conversation is over.
From that time compared to when we were there in the beginning, it's totally different talk. Like a totally different atmosphere.
We got home service to talk about how everything they're saying is wrong. This is just a church.
Alright.
It's just a 7M management.
No.
And Miranda chose to leave her
A place that wants to
family
control you that much,
he was highlighting
don't go for that.
So he started panicking. And so
If you don't have your own free will to think,
everything gets more strict.
That's why I had to sign NDA so that you won't share.
no.
Praise the Lord. Amen.
NDAs in service? Why am I signing an NDA? You don't have no time to look it over. everybody's in church, so I'm all okay, fine. Boom, signed it. And I was sitting, right? I didn't sign it. That doesn't make sense. What are you hiding?
All of a sudden, there were social media platforms that were created that were kind of exposing things and finding documents, court documents. Everybody was coming forward with lots of information about this leader. And then we heard about things with the private meetings with the pastor. Of course, his parents were going to work.
Oh, damn.
His mom had private meetings.
That's really spicy. I would say these are
All the dancers were really separated from the people that had been there.
less spicy than the regular black ones.
So that was the first time that we were hearing like people were actually treated.
But the black ones are tastier.
And that for me,
If that makes any sense? They're tastier than
because I
that.
realized I could
The kimchi.
be in an unsafe
Oh,
environment.
damn.
And then that's when me and Concrete and Kylie started talking.
All right.
Once one person sparked the conversation with something that had happened to them, the next person would just jump right in. Something similar happened to them, and they never told anyone.
We all came to a realization that we've all seen some weird stuff.
And it was mind-blowing, like, just the different
Love of it.
stories. Okay, yeah, you were treated like that. I can't believe I didn't see that.
And this was around the time they was telling everybody, post you going out, post like you hanging out with your family, or post this, post that, make everything seem so normal, right? And he wasn't saying that before, and we all came to a realization, like, this is a cult.
All right.
Like,
Whew.
okay, so now what?
So I'm drinking
I'm not afraid.
some energy, 0 calorie
I'm not
thing from Aldi. And it tastes just like Capri sandwich.
Not scared.
Those of us who grew in the 90s.
We're gonna clear
Oh.
our mind. We're gonna
You know.
silence every voice, and then we're gonna be
Are
famous.
Capri Suns even so popular nowadays? I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a legit Capri Sun since.
And they're all gonna know how we overcame all that attack. God never lost a fight.
2003 maybe? Do you guys remember when like a Lunchables would fill you up?
I've been called a cult before.
Or you would take like a Lunchables to like, what do you call them again?
It's
Like
like 7
school
and
trip,
8.
like field trips. Like you'd take your Lunchables and
Amen.
I don't know. Like there was like so many of them.
Message
That I remember.
to the walking video.
Like there was.
and I
That's
watched
like that was like it was a box,
and it was
and it
very
would come with
confused
like a drink
because I didn't
in it, and then
know they were talking about Robert
there
until
was like hot dogs. There was
the end, and even
there was a
then,
hamburger
I didn't
one.
believe it, and I had to like dig.
Spicy. Excuse me.
I started
And
looking at the Instagram accounts.
there was.
I was terrified.
That was like the regular one, like the ham. There was the chicken. There was a turkey.
Everything was lining up.
There was a sandwich one as well,
No fucking
and also came with like
way.
Jello or something like that. If it wasn't.
He's still around.
Huh. Anyways, I digress. They would fill me up, and next episode, okay, so now on episode 2 of Dancing with the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult episode 2, part 2, The Escape.
Oh my gosh. Hello,
All right.
everyone.
So,
Hello, beautiful
and
people.
anyways,
Join in.
just
125 likes. Whoa. 212.
that is so spicy.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
I never
And that's the thing. Okay, so when I was younger, I would eat
tendencies.
a lot more, you know,
Answer a couple
a
questions
lot
that
of spicy
guys
food.
had. So one of the questions is
Nowadays, I can't
are
tolerate
you
anymore.
okay?
I mean, up until recently,
I
like
am
up in,
great.
I was like 3 years ago.
She
I
even mentioned that to my mom.
2 years ago, I stopped eating
Just
spicy
this
food.
as, like my rebellious stage.
Are you in a cult? No.
Not because I have like
I'm in a cult.
acid reflux. I was like,
Miranda's
let me just stop eating it, and I did.
And it's like, she's
I used to eat.
brainwashed. Wisdom will
Oh.
save you from evil people.
When I was like younger,
Those whose words are
I used
twisted.
to go to like the liquor store and get
I heard
the liquor store, and get bags of hot Cheetos and squirt lemon in there because that's how you eat them. Fucking delicious.
Pay attention and learn
anyway, they're good. And then when the extra hots came out, yes, absolutely.
We were concerned about her.
I don't eat chips anymore.
We didn't know where she lived.
I used to be a fat kid, like a really fat one, fat as hell. Still am, but.
Well, social media, we were able to look at backgrounds of dances they were in. We saw one TikTok that had a water
back to food.
in the back. And so we're like,
Capri Sun. We're talking about Capri Sun. You know, and
there were 2 water towers, and they were kind of near the same street, so we just went up and down.
We were on streets, like looking at the mountain range, and how far away was it in the video?
Back to the food. All right, so this is chicken stock, a potato, a couple mushrooms, some mint and dill chopped up, and then some what do you call them? Lemon, pepper seasoning, some chili flakes, parsley, and what else goes in here? Oh, dehydrated onion, because I don't feel like chopping onions right now. But anyways, it's really good. Oh, and then some bread, some bread on top.
Publicity is a good publicity. Most people, when you feel like a star and when nobody...
And this is what I usually eat every day.
People get worried because you're not...
On my journey to my weight loss journey. That's not though. That's just for the mukbang. Cause
when the Wilkins video came out, that's when it all started. Like stuff was happening fast.
Robert said, "Don't look at everything, and don't believe everything that you hear or see."
Articles
my tongue is on fire.
Like, reading more into it too.
Let me dig in this thing, because there's no way these articles are saying the same thing over and over again. Like, there's no way.
We were just kind of like on alert. Like, I kind of don't know what to believe.
Oh, and this is just
we have now
watermelon, a Granny Smith, and then I'd use like the off-brand Splenda from Aldi. Like, comes in a big pack. I put 3 tablespoons and to like 3 tablespoons of water in a little little thing, and I swirl it, and then I pour it over it, and then there's tahini on top of it.
Bringing allegations that these dancers were not in control of their finances, that they were being told to donate huge portions of their income. Of course, you have to approach it with healthy suspicion at first. I started by DMing the dancers, but none of the dancers replied to me. So I started trying to reach people who I saw in the comments section. Former members were saying people suffered in his church for decades compared to this management company.
This is not just the Wilking family. Apparently this has happened before within this community.
And from what we've heard from former members, it started out
I hope you guys are doing great out there. I was really originally I was going to live stream this, but
it's been 11 years since I left Chicago. 11 years, and I don't think I've ever unpacked it to this point. I've healed by leaving.
This isn't going to be like a regular thing on the channel where I'm going to mukbang, but
moving on and creating the life that I've always
I was feeling a little, you know, down, and for those of you who don't know, I have an eating disorder, where
until all this started coming up on social media.
I don't puke or anything like that. That's not what I do. I really regulate what I eat daily, and I have certain issues with food where I won't even touch it. And if you watch my videos, or our videos, actually you have seen on Friday on the Disney videos where we were eating a bunch of sweet things, and that's something I don't do. I leading up to it, I was really just on this.
I spent like 23 years
for 3 months. Didn't lose a pound, but I mean, I did. I lost some weight because I had gained weight in February. Just before I started doing the weekly videos of Universal Studios. Was it February?
So
I just tucked into chocolate, and you know, 1 box led to 2, 3 boxes led to 5, and then by the end of it, because you know how chocolate goes on sale on like the 15th, so
Robert.
Let's just say I spent more than my fair share on chocolate on the after sale. I mean, it's still good.
I'm confused.
It's just discounted.
Where do I begin?
So I gained 5 pounds from that.
Even after you leave a place like Shekinah, it's not over.
I mean, I think you can see like some of my old videos.
And I think
I was 162 pounds. No, I was 180 pounds. Went down to 171.
We only
and then
had each other growing up.
Lower.
We grew up in Korea. My mom struggled with alcoholism, and my parents divorced. My dad had left. Like, he just disappeared. So we moved here with my mom to America. She always work at night. And she'd sleep during the day. But she'll come home and then she'll drink. And my mom had a gambling addiction. My sister was my caretaker. She really shielded me from a lot of it. My mom was never home. It started with like she'd be gone for like a month.
By the way, this is the new shirt
Nothing. You know,
I picked up at Disney.
no call, nothing. She's just
On
gone.
the Pirates.
Midst of all that, I was really lonely.
Gift shop.
I started going to China because, I mean...
Alright, for those of you who like
like
been to Disney and like shop at the stores for, you know, the clothing, apparel, whatever.
My sister didn't let me make friends at school.
Do you find the clothes are bigger there?
So I started
specifically for me, like
historically,
size small fits as a medium. Like, do you guys have that same issue? Those are people who are like small, who fit like a regular size small outside the park, like I do. I feel regular small. Inside the park, I'm an extra small, which I don't get. When we were there in December, I had purchased a sweater. Like an idiot, I didn't try it on there. I was like, it's a small, it'll fit. And then when I brought it home, I put it on, and I was like, oh no, this is big.
You just only end up hanging out with the people from your church. But I was allowed to have one friend from school.
Mel was always quiet. She seemed kind of like a mystery to me, like something else was going on. I knew her life was strict, and her parents weren't around. I don't think her sister thought that she was going to have to be the parent in the situation, because she also was a child herself. You have babies raising babies, pre-raising Mel. You need hope. You need something that is like going to give you the strength to like just live.
With this, we can come together in His love. And before while you're looking at Psalm 133,
it started out as a regular church. There were like maybe 15 people, and that included Robert's family and his sister Catherine's family. Catherine's family took me in as the 4th daughter, and it was such a good feeling because I never had that. Robert and Catherine started promising all the support and love that my sister and I had never really experienced.
A lot of you have problems with your parents and family and all that stuff you come in.
Damn it.
During the time here,
You blossom.
Oh, yeah.
And we develop relationship. I've gotten to know
See, I'm full now.
in a way that even your own family members have never gotten to know you.
Mel started to invite me to church. I felt like
Okay, let's do story time about
and I also felt like
Disney. It's a great time to go right now since most of the stuff is being refurbished. And I think it's great because we didn't see that many people there. Yes, there were crowds, but it was
felt like a cute multicultural organization.
You can still do things.
Like, oh, this is nice. You know, good for them. God bless. I'm not joining the church.
What else?
Good for y'all.
Melanie tells me how
Shopping was okay. So I've heard a lot of people like say or have negative things to say about the Antoinette perfumery at Disney in Villain Square. I mean, I bought some stuff there, and it was pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was the Bergamot Calabria, which smells so good, and it kind of smells like Calvin Klein 1, if you guys know. It's like such a early 2000s thing.
Everyone has that one moment where they start to truly believe he's a man of God. For me, it was when I got baptized.
I know I probably won't get any views on this video.
I broke out with this terrible rash.
And that's okay.
This rash was so bad that, like, I would wake up in pain. We would get rubbing alcohol put in her head, but nothing worked. People would come over and pray for me every day. It was so bad. It was Melanie's turn to get baptized. He dunks her, she comes up, and 2 days later, everything was gone. But I don't know if it's a combination of the rubbing alcohol with the salt water. I don't know. Everybody was crying because they thought they witnessed the miracle of God. Or maybe it was a miracle. I have no idea. But it happened, and he would use those things and get credit for it. Say, like, look, it's because I healed her. And I remember a couple people coming up to me after that and saying, you know what? Ever since I saw that, I'm in.
Okay, so I do apologize for the Fantastic video. For whatever reason, when I upload stuff on YouTube Studio, it tends to like keep the data instead of like just uploading it and like not storing it. So I had to delete the app when I got home, and then because the whole app started being like 34 gigs, I was like, why is it that much? It's not. Anyways,
he's a man of God.
You know, the more you know, the more you learn.
To you, and can actually change your life and turn it around. You want it to be real.
That's a huge fucking bite, you fat ass.
Who have joined cults often talk about, like, well, my dad had just died, or I had just started at a new college.
Oh my god.
If you're in a vulnerable position, like immigrants and maybe struggling artists, that seems to be when people are very susceptible to being drawn towards someone that says, not just.
By the way, happy 4th day of Pride? Is that a thing? Oh, June 4th? Yeah, 4 days of Pride.
Robert was saying, even if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're not saved. This message of salvation, nobody else
I'm not looking
knows.
down, I'm looking at the camera, so
I'm the only one that knows this message.
I'm taking huge fucking bites.
You gotta die, and you'll go to hell. They describe hell as an abyss, and everybody is tortured by their sins on earth. You feel the pain that you did to other people. Some people, there's like maggots coming out of you, your skin's getting burned, and then it re-heals itself and it starts.
How would they know? Have they been there?
Such a fear of hell. My mission was never to go there. That became a mission in life. Robert was my connection to God. By getting close to Robert, I was getting close to God. The next thing I
I'm not paying attention to this.
It all kind of changed suddenly. In our apartment complex, we had other members of the church moving in. Then we were moving into another house with other church members. And this was the first house. It was called Glory Girls.
The trap house.
There were several houses that Robert and Catherine owned. So the housing assignments were also done by Catherine and Robert. They determine who your roommate is and where to live.
Hell no.
They would move us around like every 6 to 8 months. Eventually, they separated. Me and my sister, we slept in different rooms. I was rooming with some girl I didn't know. And I wasn't allowed to go to my sister and talk to her. Rules were set.
Nope.
There was a house captain.
That's how cults get you.
We weren't allowed to stay up past 10. We had to get up
Divide and conquer.
5 and be at church by 6 to pray for an hour. We couldn't choose what we wanted to eat. You ate whatever they gave you. It was weird, but I was appreciative to God, because I was also appreciative to Robert and this new family that God has given me.
You don't just come to church, you're getting closer and closer.
Dirty another dish? I don't think so. No, I just don't feel like getting up right now.
Because he was like the holy man.
You
You would have to go to a spiritual mentor for the church. And if you're a newcomer, you are automatically assigned to one of the spiritual mentors. Robert used to teach, your thoughts are not your own. So
I would drive someone who I know insane.
Or from God. Report everything to your mentor.
Faith is a lifestyle of obedience. It's not something that you do because the mentor or somebody tells you to do something, you do it. No, that's not it. It's how you live. Amen. Hallelujah.
We would have to get approval for wherever we go, everything that we do.
If I wanted to get like new shoes or something like that, I would have to submit to my mentor.
Daniel's been with Robert since he was a child. He's been the right-hand man for 30 years.
You submit to them what you want and what you need. If they say yes or no, then that's the answer. You rely on your spiritual leaders. You rely on God.
Nobody can do anything behind anyone's back because everyone would tell on each other. So they would say, I saw Joy do this wrong, or I heard Joy say X, Y, and Z about you.
I would have to remind myself, don't say too much or else it's gonna get to Robert. Sometimes, even with Aubrey, I don't think I could fully share because I didn't know.
It was all about pleasing the man of God in that sense, because they think the more they pleased him, the holier or the closer they can get to God.
That was the goal. Everybody wanted to get close to the man of God so we could receive these heavenly blessings that he's talking about.
I can take you financially from here to there. Hallelujah. And it doesn't matter what kind of job you have. It doesn't matter what kind of license you have. It doesn't matter whether you have a green card or not. Amen.
When I was there, he targeted young people.
That would be IRS might say.
Welcome to Millionaires Club. Hallelujah. Thank you for joining us today.
And then the money they make, Robert would keep it all. And they were okay with it because they were never rich to begin with. These young people who had no job experience, they were hungry for God. They came from a low-income immigrant family, and he would work their asses off. Robert had opened several businesses, a cafe, 2 mortgage companies, 2 real estate companies, 2 flower shops, and all the church people were working these companies. They were paid very minimum. They had me work Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I got paid $100 a week.
When I joined Shekinah, I didn't have much money. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a cell phone. So I worked for them. I ran the mortgage company. I did a lot of the work in the real estate company as well. I worked really hard to be approved by Robert. We were starting to make more money. The mortgage and the real estate company combined brought in over $1 million in commission in 2021. But I never saw it. I just saw deposits to my bank account, which I wasn't supposed to touch. Hannah had full access to my bank account.
She said I had to do that to get right with Robert, which is getting right with God. So I did. She goes, I ordered checks for you, sign all of them. Hannah would write the check, she would deposit it into my bank account, and then she will withdraw it by writing more checks out of my bank account. It will be a check to either the church, check to Robert, check to pay other people's expenses.
And see, when you're that involved,
pay somebody's home,
it's like, okay, well then, try to hold on to it, because
they'll give you an allowance.
if you don't, then you lose everything.
With us, it was about blessings. Just give, 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 give.
If you want to receive, if you want to reap something big, what do you have to sow? You have to sow something big.
Don't fall for that, guys. Don't fall for this
Big
trash.
sowing, big reaping. Small sowing, small reaping. Your giving has to reflect your receiving desire.
Robert always wanted more.
Welcome to the Millionaires Club.
His message was very money driven, and he was constantly seeking financial gains and status.
Take care of your pastor's wife. Buy her a new dress.
And Robert was trying to break into Hollywood. He had made a couple indie films.
So sorry.
He was calling himself executive producer. He was sending Daniel to go audition for roles.
My daughter is missing, detective.
But that didn't go anywhere. And Chloe was trying to become a singer, but that didn't work. So it makes sense when he found the dancers. He saw all this opportunity to be like a world famous social media.
Hollywood is all about nepotism and who you know.
And his plan worked.
I mean, you could be really talented, but unless, you know, you can be really talented, but you have to have someone that you know, or you have to be just like such a small percentage of people who are really, really talented get there, but it's all about who you know.
Bobby just did a commercial, toilet paper. He's doing his butt dance.
And I say that,
You know how much he's getting paid for that? $37,000.
knowing
We
firsthand.
wanted to be the person that was being spoke about at services, and we wanted to be in that
Was it worth
scene,
it? Nope.
because if you weren't, Robert would let you know.
If you didn't do what you're told, he would call you out when he's in the pulpit, call your name and call out everything you've done wrong. Everyone just stares at you, and so then you feel like so small, and you feel embarrassed because now nobody's talking to you. They're not even saying hi.
My mind
All
was
right, I can't do
constantly
anymore.
battling
I'm full.
these things. God's
Thank you,
probably
guys.
not happy with me. My mentor's not happy with me. Obviously, Robert is not happy with me.
It was like if a coach is getting on a player,
This is
because
good.
they're important. That's how I took it.
Whew.
Maybe he sees
I'm full.
the great in me. And this is when the mentor.
Excuse the hell out of me.
I'm like, dang, I'm not getting rebuked. I don't even know if God really loves me, bro. I don't know. Kind of
Okay.
like a little puppy, basically. Like,
I forget how.
Like, what can I do to get better? Or you're kind of like,
Okay.
and like using him as like the guidance.
Ooh.
Robert created a system where he's like, you need to